All right, all right. Hello. Hello,
Hey.
hello, hello. Listen, we are here. We are here. You know, I got my favorite sister in the house. Karen in Ghana is here. So happy to be here with her one more time before the new year kicks in. She is here. She's always kept her promise that she would always come back and share with us what's going on in the Ghana streets. Like, what's going on? And so, hello, my sister. How are you?
Hello, hello. I'm doing great. How about you?
I'm good now. I am so good, but all is well. I've turned a whole nother age since the last time we
Yep.
saw each other. I'm celebrating still privately. You see, I got my little 7-0 back there, still
Uh-huh.
back there lit up. And privately, I'm still celebrating that I made it around, and I'm just happy to be alive and to be here.
Yes.
So
Yes. You
how have
caught
you
up with
been?
me.
I did. I did. We twins now. I did.
Yep, that's it.
I did catch up with you. I'm so happy to have you back. It's so good to see you. You look well. You got a
Thank you.
beautiful tan.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Beautiful. We got Ene in the house greeting you. You know, she is always
Oh,
here.
hey, Yay.
She is greeting you. She's greeting me. And we got some folks up there in the bleachers, in the balcony, or in the orchestra. They might have bought an expensive ticket, uh, Karen.
Mhm.
Who knows? But they're here, and I'm glad that they're here. And I hope they hit that like button on the way in. And just in case they did not hit that like button on the way in, how about we just give them a quick reminder, Karen?
Yes, that's it. Hit that like button.
There you go. And tap
That's
that
it.
bell so that you know when we're going live. So, my sister, how have you been? Listen, we want to talk about a couple of things today. It's the last show that we'll have together before the new year kicks in. I know you'll probably be back in January, but today I thought that we would recap some things, what the year
Sure.
was like for you, what
Yeah.
the year was like for you, 2023. And, I know a lot of folks, you may want to let them know when you did come to Ghana, but just greet the people.
Okay, well, I am just grateful to be here. I thank you so much, Sheila. You're so generous with your time and just inviting me back over and over again. and but I appreciate it. I've been in Ghana. It was a year in my house in November, and
Wow.
yeah, it was a year already. So and then I moved here actually in May prior to that, and stayed with Mikiel and Kezia, the people who were building my house. But I've been in my house for a year now, and it's been interesting. It's been great. It's been wonderful.
Wow, you've
Ghana
done
is
so much in a
I,
year.
it's a lot. It is like a whirlwind. The Most High has had me on this like whirlwind. I thought I was coming, like I said before, to just chill out and just take it easy after 70 years, right? But he had other
Right.
plans. I think
That,
I'm working harder now and moving more now than I did when I was working a
That's
full time
encouraging,
job.
though. That's encouraging, Karen, because as a lot of people in the YouTube streets know, and in my life or whether whatever on my platforms to know that I had a big bang of a party, a big milestone celebration
Yeah,
party turning 70. So I am with you. And I was thinking a lot, and I don't know, what does it feel like? Like I think that a mental thing has to remain. When you get older, things try to make you think you should slow down, or
yeah.
you're too
Hmm.
old to start doing this and you're too old
Right.
to start doing that, and no, 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 you shouldn't do that. I mean, what is your thoughts about that? Let's talk about that for a second, because you have been
Sure.
70 a few months early. When's your birthday?
August 3rd.
Okay, you're a summer baby. I'm a winter baby. And you
Yeah.
have what was it like mentally? Because I know your transition to Ghana was really to just relax and build your house and chill out and kick
Yeah.
back. But there was like a whole blindsiding thing for you when you got
Yes,
there. You
yes.
found that the Lord had placed you in a position to just start business and build. I'm sure that must have been like, wait a minute. What's it like to be 70, starting a business and working as hard as you're working now?
I can say, I was just talking to someone the other day, and I said it's like having a whole nother life,
Mm,
just like a whole do over,
mm,
starting over with, I've gone through this many years on one side, and now I'm doing something totally different. And with the energy that to me, it feels like that I had when I started working 30 something years ago,
mm-hmm,
on a particular job. So
mm,
it's really interesting to me because I thought, like I said, that it was going to be time to just kind of chill and relax. And I can say this is not to say for everybody, but for me, since I've been living in Ghana, I feel like I have more energy and more
wow.
stamina than I did when I was in the States. When I was in the States, I was starting to really feel like I was getting older, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and
Was
just kind of,
feeling
yeah,
it.
it's like this kind of thing comes on you and you get up and you go, oh, every time, you know, your knees are
Ah,
paining, your back, and so you just kind of move into it, like, oh well, I'm getting older now, so I don't shouldn't expect. But when I got here, I came with that same kind of attitude. But I tell you, from the
mm,
moment I got here, I started meeting people. They wanted me to come to this event and come to that one, and then the chief would come and visit, and then the kids are always coming around. So then you meet the queen mothers and all this. So you just
wow.
into a whole different culture where they don't take it easy. Everything
No.
is moving, 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 and going and going and going. And I just found myself caught up in it, and now I'm loving it, because I'm constantly using my body, using
Yes.
myself. You know what I mean? And
Which is
using my
good. So you're
yeah,
exercising too.
yeah,
So you're
yeah,
moving and yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
So that,
Absolutely.
that really made a difference. And so then I started feeling younger instead of feeling like I was getting older. I was like, oh, I'm getting feeling like this energy. And I can say the sun over here too, and I know it's like the same sun, but I don't know what we're doing over there with the chemtrails and all that kind of stuff, or
Mm,
just
mm,
the pollution and all that. But the sun here it gently bakes you. It's not
wow.
harsh. It doesn't
Mm,
feel, it doesn't burn. You don't get sunburn and all that. But the, I guess the vitamin D
yes.
just really, really helps you with your energy and with our melanin and all that. So I'm feeling like I'm aging backwards. That's what I tell people. I'm
That
aging
is
back.
awesome. Because I'm telling you, it's like a mindset. Like it's not like 69 was so far from 70, but when you hit 70,
Right.
it's like in your face. It's that
Yep.
milestone that's in your face. Not only that, it's the revelation and understanding how many people have not made it to 70. I know I
Yes.
have a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of when I'm on Facebook, I'm always looking at someone's death notice who was
Yep.
much younger than me or who didn't make it to the so it's the gratitude as
Yes.
well as not taking days, moments, and time for granted, and what do you
Mm-hmm.
do next? What are you doing? What's next on the agenda, Sheila? And I've always been this antsy kind of girl. You could tell I'm never still. My children know that I'm not sitting down, it's not over. I've always finding something. I told my daughter the day before yesterday, I said, okay, I really need to go somewhere. She said, lady, you just had a big party. I said, "No, but I'm getting that travel bug on me. You guys know I
Yes.
have a
Yes.
travel bug." She said, "You just was sick. You just got out the sick bed." I said, I know, but I'm just letting you know that I got this, the bug is hitting me and it's like
Right.
go, 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 and I don't think there's anything wrong with it. And I'm really being really prayerful, trying to figure out like where am I headed? Like what's next? for me?
Mm-hmm.
What is it
Mm-hmm.
that I need to tap into or evolve into? And of course, always talk about coming to Ghana. And I'm
Yes,
like, oh,
yes.
I'm too old to move to Ghana. I'm too old. What am I gonna do? I'm gonna sit there and do nothing. Then I'm really gonna get old and tired. I'm thinking I having all these conversation and thoughts with
Right,
myself.
right.
Then other people like, well, why don't you move here to Arizona? Or why don't you move over here? Like it's all these, come here, come here. And I'm like, I gotta know exactly. But being, like I said, it's a gratitude to be able to say, I celebrated that 7-0. And like people are seeing my little numbers in the back still lit up. They still kind of they still lit up a little bit. Let's show the people a little bit, the 7 and the 0 back there.
Yep, there it is. There it is.
Yes, there it is. And so I just wanted to know what your thoughts were and how you navigated. Well, you got blindsided. You got there and you
Yeah,
just
yeah.
and then Emmanuel came and that was it. You thought he was coming and you were going to refer, like be this referral source. Like
Right, right, exactly. But that was a different story. And so here I am, just busy, busy all the time. But it's a good busy, and I know that I'm in the Most High's will, so that always helps too. And I'm back up a little bit and say that when you
yeah.
go and read in the Bible, especially in the Old Testament,
Mhm.
how old were these guys when the Most High called them to start doing work? I mean, they were
It's
all of them were up
80
there.
and not yes.
Yes, yes. So it's like you don't really begin to live until you get this age. If
Yeah.
especially if you've taken care of yourself, if you've been blessed with health, you
Yes.
know. So I would encourage anybody that thinks that, oh, I'm too old to do this or I'm too old. No, you're never too old to start over and do some great things.
Yeah.
So yeah,
I've been
I think
thinking a
about
lot.
them often. Yeah, Sarah was like 90, right?
Yeah.
Abraham 100,
And Moses
Moses.
was 80, right? So, and
Yeah.
you're right. And their ages, they had that stamina and they just hit the ground going. And
Hmm.
also a lot of people in Africa, a lot of the culture in Africa lives very long because of the air quality, the food,
Hmm.
certain
Yeah. Right.
commercial things they don't ingest. There's so
Yep.
much you talk about the chief. I mean, how old are the chiefs there? Are some of them really,
Right.
really old?
Yeah. Some of them are really up there in age. Yes, and some of them are not. Some of them are not at our age. But
Mhm,
yeah, they do have people here living a long time. They work hard here too, though. But they work so hard here. So
mhm.
they look worn, a lot of them at that age, but they
'Cause
still are
they work.
strong. They're still
Yeah,
strong and they're, still able to do what they need to do. But
yeah.
yeah, but they, because they work so hard here.
They
This
work
is the
s Yeah, they wear it. They wear it on
yeah,
themselves,
they're wearing,
they're
they're
probably
carrying these things on their head all the time. They're carrying babies on their back. They're lifting. I mean, sometimes you see like all this wood that they're carrying on their head
mm,
and things like that.
wow.
So they work extremely hard. They walk everywhere. You know,
Yes.
the lifestyle here is a very healthy lifestyle per se, but it can
Mhm.
also be very taxing on, people who are doing that kind of work to survive.
And doing it
Hmm.
for so long, right? Doing
Yes.
it for the
Yes.
lifespan. The
Right,
lifespan,
right. The whole
those of
lifetime.
yes, those of us in America, which you've come from, right? The US, we have a
Mhm.
different workload, a different lifestyle.
Right.
We have a different work ethic where even people here, you could say, wow, life is really whatever, but and when I say whatever, meaning you can see it on them, but not like in the fields and building and grinding and
Right.
planting and in the sun and working. We work hard, some of us don't,
Mhm.
but there's a different wear and tear. There's a
Yes.
different wear
Yes.
and tear, right?
It's more of a physical here.
Absolutely.
More
Absolutely.
physical here, yeah.
Absolutely. Well, we got
Hmm.
folks in the chat. You know how we do. We got family in the chat. So let's say hello to some of our folks in the chat that's greeting us
Oh,
and
okay.
greeting you. Let's see. I'm going to start from the bottom up so that I don't skip. So we have Pastor Rosa in the house, and she's saying, Oh my, I need to move to Africa. The air quality here is getting worse. And I have
Mm,
heart and asthma issues. I might just need to rethink this.
that's so true. That's so true because we don't have that to deal with over here.
Wow, that's
Air quality
amazing.
is really, really much better.
I'm sure. We have Kim Cooper is in the house. Hello, Kim Cooper. She was busy here at home too. All right. Then we got
And I'm
thank you for
laughing at
being
my
here.
sister Kim, and she was like, "Look,
Uh-huh.
don't let her fool y'all. Think she was just laying back in the space."
She was working, she was grinding, right? I know. That's why she got out of there, so she can get a different kind of work. All right. And we got Benito Williams is
Yeah,
saying beautiful aging backwards. She says, I can relate. Yeah, I
yeah,
think that's the word for us, Karen. We're aging backwards. Let's go
yes. And
ahead and
Benito is,
age.
she's in Ghana here with
Okay.
us, and she can relate because she's looking younger and younger too,
That's
even though
awesome.
she's much younger than we are. So,
Uh-huh. That's all right, Benito. That's all right. Thank you for being here. And we got and they saying Karen's company is Africa. Yes,
oh,
consulting and
thank you.
management services. Yes, I'm gonna put the banner up in a second. Thanks for reminding me, my dear Inenia. Let's see what she had. Ine, she's gonna put it, she's gonna hit it. She's gonna make sure the information is up, is up, is
Oh, that's
up,
nice.
and we'll be doing it throughout the program, putting it up so that you can get more information from Karen. She has so much information, and that's why everyone loves her when she comes. It's like so many people love Karen in Ghana. They like looking at the content and learning so much about Africa. So let's she says, thank you. Oh yeah, come to think of it, Mother Rosa, Pastor Rosa had a birthday too last week. Yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
we had a lot of November babies, a lot of November
Oh,
babies celebrating. Mhm.
belated.
Yeah, yeah, and we have Hestra Tiltsworth. Hello,
Oh,
it's
yeah.
Hestia. That's your friend.
She's one of my clients.
Oh,
Yes,
okay.
she purchased some land from us recently. Yes, so
Awesome,
yes,
awesome.
and friend now.
All right. That is awesome. Congratulations on
Hey,
that, Hestra. Thank you for being here. See, you just helping people do what they need to do, showing them
mhm.
what to do and how to do it. So let's continue our chat. Let's continue our conversation. And I'm glad. Oh, wait, guess who we have in the house? We got Dina Holland in the house.
That's my sister. Hey, Dina. That's my sister.
Dina.
She lives in Maryland,
Okay.
so I
Oh,
haven't
she's in the
seen her in a
state.
long time. Yeah.
Oh, hello, Dina. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Jesse with the T. Hi, mommy. Hi, Miss Sheila.
Hi, baby. How are
Hey,
you?
sweetie, how are you? It's good to see you again. Thanks for being here. Thanks for being here. Yes, yes, and yes. So, I know your family did not want you to leave the States, but listen, a girl got to
Mhm.
do what a girl got to do. You on assignment now. And I
Yeah.
know that it was hard to separate from your family because you're across the world. But guess what? They've been flying over seeing you, so it's no
Yeah.
love lost.
Yeah.
You guys have been hanging out and
Mhm.
celebrating together, and I think that is so awesome. So today, because this is our last time for the new year to be together, you and I have bonded. We have bonded. Oh, she says really she's in Maryland. Okay. Okay. AQ,
Oh,
really Maryland. Okay. That's good. Thank you all for being here. I'm so happy that you are here. So
yeah.
now that we're in our last shot for the new year, Karen,
Mm-hmm.
before we merge into this new year, I want you to share and just talk a little bit about what 2023 was. You already kind of set it up, what you thought it was going to be like,
Yes.
and what
Yes.
and what it is now. What it is now. Wait a minute. Someone says I'm in Ghana in October. I was
Oh,
in
they was
Ghana in
in Ghana.
October. Okay.
Oh,
All
okay.
right. That's awesome.
I
I
hope
bet
they
it's been
enjoyed
some
it like
years.
I do.
Did I don't know. Let us know if you enjoyed it. AQ, did you enjoy it? So now what's ready for you? You've already brought us up to speed on how you got to Ghana and how you really started working. I do still have some of your old slides loaded already, about with the shack and the land and everything. So if you
Oh
want me
yeah,
to pull
yeah,
those up before we leave, I can do that. But let's talk. I want you to share a little bit about what's on your heart, where you're headed, what's going on right now with you and Emmanuel.
yeah. Um, it's a lot. It's,
Okay. You got to eeny, meeny, miny, mo. You got to
yes, yes,
grab something, right?
something. So it's been my journey in Ghana has been really, really nice. I say from since I've been here since came back in November
Hmm.
of last year. So I've been here a full year,
Hmm.
and it has really been an interesting journey, and it's also been challenging at some points in time.
Hmm.
So nothing that happens here that wouldn't happen couldn't happen anywhere.
Hmm.
But when you're away from your family
Yeah.
and and your assembly, people that you love and that love you, and you're creating new friendships and relationships, and so it's
Yeah.
all good, but it's nothing like family, right?
Hmm.
So there have been just a couple, and recently, that's why I'm bringing it up. Recently, I had a moment where I was like,
Okay.
I want to go see my family. I want to,
Okay.
I was in a little bit of a whiny state, I guess I put it like that.
You're
In a
missing them.
not in a negative way, right? I was gonna say because I really did miss them, and I was I was having some challenges here, like just like I say, everyday stuff, like car breaking down, the generator. I don't know if I meant it, or on my YouTube channel, I told people I just bought this new generator, and it
Hmm.
in 4 weeks it was busted already, and
Hmm.
so just like things like that just happening, and then just with the day to day living.
Yeah.
And so I just really started, feeling like I want to be around my family. I want to be with my sisters, laughing so hard that my stomach hurts, and,
Yeah.
and talking about old times. And we do it on chat, on a group chat that we have, but it's just nothing like being there, right?
Right.
And
Correct.
I hug my grandchildren and dance with them. And so I was
Yeah.
feeling a little melancholy, I would say, over the last month. And so I try to be as transparent as I can. I'm not sure because I don't want to make people think that it's all roses and everything's wonderful and it's always great, because that's not reality
That's
anywhere.
not life. Right.
Right. So, but I've been doing some things I could share that I went to a YouTube creators event. Remember that when I was
Yes.
trying to get people to vote for me? Well, I
Yes.
still ended up in third place, but that was okay. I felt good about it because I
Bravo.
only,
Yes.
thank you, only for since May, and so from May to November, I'm third place in the YouTube world, right?
That's
So
awesome.
yeah, yeah, that was really awesome. The event was good. It had its challenges. I haven't posted the video on it yet, of my time there, but I could just share with you guys that in Ghana there are some things about Ghana that are not like other places that I've lived or been, and one of them
Okay.
is the sense of time.
Okay.
I think I talked about when people they say I'm coming,
And I've
and
heard so many other people share this. Go ahead.
that could mean I'm coming could mean tomorrow. When you're thinking they mean that they're on their way, right?
Mhm.
So when I hear somebody say I'm coming, I'm thinking that they're on their way right now, but that doesn't mean that over here in Ghana. That means that I am going to come at some point in time. So
Right. And if they say 5 o'clock, it's not five, it might be eight.
yes, yes. And that's why they rarely tell you a time because they don't want to commit to that. So when you say, "Well, what time are you going to be here?" "I'm coming, mommy. I'm coming. You'll
Okay.
see me soon. I'm coming." You know, and so when we went to the event the YouTube creators event. It started at 7:30. I didn't get there until 9:30 because I know that how the time goes here. You know, in the States we used to call it CP time, right?
Yes, correct. For those of you who don't know, that's colored people time.
So that means it's going to be late.
Late.
Ghana puts a whole different spin on
I
that.
heard. I heard.
So it's supposed to start at 7:30. I didn't even get there till 9:30 because I know they don't usually start on time. And they did not start the event until 12:30.
What? Wait. Wait a
Yes.
minute. Hold on.
7:30.
Hold on a second, my sister. What? Give me a minute to kind of get that in.
Yes,
The
digest that.
event time was 7:30. You
Yes.
gauged your 2 hour window. Figure it. Okay, I'll give two
Yep.
hours because you've
Yep.
lived and learned while you've
Right.
been there. You get there, and the actual program doesn't start till almost the next day because midnight is
No, this was in the morning.
always in the morning. Oh,
7:30 in the morning.
okay.
Didn't
But
start
still,
till 12:30.
yeah, okay.
Five
So,
hours.
so noon,
Five
5 hours,
hours.
lunchtime.
Yes. I got there, like I said, around 9:30, 10ish, and we waited and we waited and we waited and we waited.
And you waited.
And I was like, this is just
Were
taking it too
people
long.
moving around like everything was cool,
Yeah,
everything's
people,
fine?
yeah,
Like, oh, it's
everybody's
no
just acting like,
problem.
right,
No,
right. Everybody's outside taking pictures and doing their own, because they're YouTube creators, right?
yeah.
Everybody's doing their lives and everything going
Yeah.
on. And I'm like, I'm old school, right? So I'm like, this is not acceptable.
This is not good.
But it was me and another YouTube creator, Audrey Appleby, and she's near our age.
Mhm.
And so because of her, we probably were the oldest two people there. Everybody else
Okay.
was really, really young, you, you
Okay.
know. And they were just like, bebopping around and
I'm
just,
sure. Excited.
and we sitting there like this.
I know. I was getting ready to tell
I
you.
mean,
I was getting ready
I
to
mean,
say, show me how you look. Oh, just give me a picture of how you. Oh my good. Oh my goodness, Karen.
girl,
Karen.
girl.
Mm-mm.
So, I was like, okay. But then they had, they when they started, and it was like I said, the younger YouTubers, but they're making massive, massive amounts of money. They're making like tens of thousands of dollars in a month doing
Mm.
YouTube. So that caught my attention because I'd never really, really paid much
Yeah.
attention to the financial part of it. And so they
Yeah.
started sharing some tips and some ideas and some things you could do to grow your channel and things like that. So it was good information.
Hmm.
But they had to cut it short because they were so late, and then they had to, so they couldn't have everybody there. And then some of the people that we expected to be there were not there. So, some of the YouTube creators that we expected to see, we didn't. So anyway, they ended it, and then that evening was to be the award ceremony that was supposed to start at 6.
Oh, you were gonna have to go home and come back?
No, I just stayed because I was in a car.
Oh, oh,
So I had
okay.
to, I had to go change in the restroom into my
Okay.
cute little dress, right?
Okay.
And so we get ready, and we go there, and we are there at 7,
Hmm.
right? We just went and got some dinner because we know they're not going to be ready at 6, even though they said everybody be back here at 6. So we got back at 7. Sheila, guess what time they started the event?
Okay, wait. Let me take a sip. Hold on. Do I want my lemonade or do I think I'm gonna take my water first. Hold
You
on.
might need you might need some wine on this one.
Hold on. I got both cups. Wait a minute now. All right. Let me take a sip. All right?
It
Because I
wasn't
don't
as
want to
bad as
choke again.
it wasn't as bad as the morning, but they did not start until like almost 9:30.
That's still
So
3 hours.
3 hours, over 3 hours. We
Wait.
just sat there. We sitting waiting,
I hope you had some lunch
waiting.
in your bag. I hope they had some food. I hope you had some
They
snacks.
had some crackers. They had some little crackers and cookies and water. They did have
No
that for people,
food.
and some juice.
Food. What happened
No,
to food
no, I did, but we did get something to eat
in between?
before. That's why we didn't
Okay.
get there until 7 because we said we better get something to eat. But
Smart.
so that's and I'm saying it's Ghana, but people know that that could happen anywhere. My
No,
daughter
but not
Rachel,
not that much time elapsed. Now I've
my
learned
daughter
because I've
Rachel is
been
in the fashion
uh,
industry, and
listen.
she could
That
relate
that
to some of
particular industry, yes, that could happen,
yes,
because of
yes,
mishaps and certain things. But I've watched so many channels, Ghana channels, Ghana content creators channels,
yes,
and
yes,
I've watched a lot of content with people who've left the US and moved to Ghana, and they'll tell you 10 things you need to know about Ghana.
right.
10 things you should know. So I always park there and
Yep.
see what they're going to say. And I've watched several different people share their experiences, and not all bad, just the difference that you need to prepare yourself
Mhm.
for if you're
You
thinking
do.
about even just traveling there, about the
Yes,
right hand and not the left hand, right?
that's right.
Um,
That's very
tell,
serious.
tell our viewers about the right hand and the left hand.
All right, so I guess in Ghana, you never use your left hand because that's the hand that you wipe with, right? So you never use that. You never touch the money with your left hand. You never hand anybody anything. And it's been challenging for me because I'm left-handed. So
Oh,
it's just
that's a
so
big
automatic
challenge.
for me. Yes, yes. And I just try to hand somebody. I remember the first time I was handing this lady some money with my left hand, and she
What
she
she
was
do?
just
She just look at
looking at me like, "Are you crazy? You think I'm gonna take that money out of that hand?" So whoever, I think the
oh,
local person I was with
oh,
said, whispered to me, said, "Put it in your right hand." And I was
uh-huh.
like, "Oh." So I put it in my right hand and handed it to her, and she took it.
Yeah, I
But
learned
that,
that one.
yeah, they do have that is a very
They say
still
it's
a very,
serious.
very prevalent thing for them. Yes, and serious. Some people take it, almost like an insult if you try to touch them with your left hand, or if they see you eating with your left hand, you
Yes.
know. And I'm left-handed, so I'm going to
Ooh,
be eating with my left hand. But if
that's
I
a
eat,
challenge.
if I do something like how they eat with their hand, like take some of
When
the
they yeah,
banku and dip, I do that with my right hand. I won't do it with that with my left.
yeah,
But yeah, so just that's one of the things you want to be aware of. They
that's a
do.
biggie. I watch everyone that I turn to watch, and it's like things you don't do. That was always in the list.
Yeah,
Like,
you don't.
don't you dare use that left hand for anything
Yeah, it's like I
other
remember
than what
when
they say it's for.
I know when I was a kid and I was left-handed and I went to school and they used to always take the pencil and put it in my right hand and try to make me be right-handed. But it was just, that wasn't meant to be. And so I would try to write with my right hand, but I couldn't, and it was, so I ended up just going back to my left. My daddy was left-handed too. So it's like I felt special because I'm the only left-handed one like my
Yeah,
dad. Right.
yeah.
But so I thought back on that and I was wondering if that even came from that mindset, you
Mm,
know, um, that where they were trying to make me be right-handed, and telling
mm.
me, take that pencil out of your left hand and put it in your right hand. I wonder if it came from that.
Like the left
But
hand is so taboo. But let me tell you,
yeah,
shucks, people from the US come to Ghana, listen, they'll be using both hands and
yeah, yeah,
they won't have a clue. That's why it's
no,
so important to understand the cultures and the do's and don'ts. And
yes,
I mean, it's so very important. And by habit, we're always animated or we're using stuff or we're handing
hmm,
things or and like you said, the first time you did that, the lady just stopped and looked at you like, is she crazy?
yeah, she got to be. She's got to be
So
out of her mind. She think I'm
what
gonna
are
take that
they?
money, take
Wait,
that money out of her dirty hand.
so what do they just assume? That's an assumption that hand is not clean. Like That is such
Yeah.
a it's a
I
rule
think
because
it goes way back in their culture.
it
They
does.
were living in the jungle. I mean,
Yes.
jungle. I take that
Well,
back.
in the
Living
bush.
in the bush, in the
Uh-huh.
bush, and they didn't have toilets and all that kind of stuff, right?
Yes.
So they use one particular hand to wipe. you
Right.
know, that was the hand that they would use. And so this was the right hand is your hand that you eat with and do
Right.
everything else with because they
Right.
eat with their hands mostly. And the
Right.
left one was for, so you never the two should mix,
No, no, don't.
You're not going to use your right hand to wipe and you better
No,
not use your left hand to
no.
eat.
Wow. You know what I'm telling you? That's why I said, let's tell the people about those that didn't
Yeah,
know. Some of the
that's
viewers might know, but I'm telling you, I've learned so much about the do's and don'ts in Ghana.
yeah.
What's another thing that you don't do in Ghana? I know one of the things that I also learned is about the Uber drivers, that you pay the Uber driver in cash. You don't use the app.
No, no, they don't have the app here. You pay for your stuff in cash. Now, I don't know, there may be one called Bolt, and they may have the a way to do it, but I don't think so. I think everything is paid in cash.
Mhm.
Um, Here, another thing that you don't do is you don't be concerned about just don't be concerned about people in the street. It's like if you're at home and you just see people all in the street, you would be thinking that they're gonna get hit by a car or something like that, or you'd be
Mhm.
a little concerned. Don't even sweat it here in Ghana because they're gonna be in the street when the light
Yes.
changes. They're gonna be out. Because they're selling their wares. They got stuff on their head. They
Right.
got things they're carrying, walking up and down through every light. So
Yes.
you know, I used to get really like panicky, thinking like, "Oh my goodness, somebody's going to get hit." I mean, it's kids out there too. I mean, it's
Right.
everybody. It's the guys who may be deformed and they're riding the little things. I mean,
Right.
everybody's in the street when the light changes.
I remember
In
that.
some parts of Ghana, not
Yeah,
every.
but a lot of areas, I remember I was so nervous when I was there, and you're right, you can't be in so much of a hurry because it's so congested. The
Yeah,
cars, you gotta take your time. You can't be impatient because you're weaving through people, and they're just walking. I was like this when I was there. I was like, wait, well,
yeah,
why they're not moving?
right,
Wait a minute. The cars, the people are in. There's like, oh yeah, yeah. I was like, but there's like, no, this is how it is. And they were selling all, and they're very creative. The Ghanaian
yeah,
people are very creative with selling. They have stores on them.
right.
Like
That's
they'll
right.
have a whole. I was like, you talk about a hustle. They had their
Oh,
whole thing that they carpentered, made. The carpenter had to make it
right.
because it's all around and it's different compartments inside, and they're
Yes.
just selling and making their money and
Selling,
feeding their
like you
families.
say, a whole store right there on their body. They
Yes.
are the most hardworking people I've ever seen,
Mhm.
and like you said, and creative, and they
Yes.
have created this whole way of maneuvering through life.
Yes.
It's just
Absolutely. I give
really
them a
interesting.
bravo.
It's really interesting to see. And another thing, don't be concerned when you see people jump out their cars and start yelling and screaming at each other. They're not going to fight.
Yeah, I
They're
heard
just
that
going
there's not a lot
to.
of crime, a lot of fighting. You don't be
No, no, nobody fights. They don't fight each other. They just get out the car and yell and scream and throw their hands up in the air and and try to get other people involved and all that, and then it's over. Then it's over.
emotional.
Oh, extremely dramatic. I
Yeah.
remember. Now, but in the States, you call somebody a drama queen,
Uh-huh.
and it takes on a whole new meaning here. And it's not necessarily the women; it's the men. The men are extremely uh, loud and demonstrative.
Passionate about what they're
Yes,
saying and
yes,
doing.
yes. And they want people to believe everything, like you got to hear their side and you got to know. And so they just go back and forth and back and forth.
Oh,
And so
wow.
but you get used to that too. But at first, it seems so, unnerving because you're thinking that
Right.
they're going to fight because they
Right.
like are just like in each other's face like that. So you're
But
thinking,
they
who's going
won't.
to go first punch. They're going to get fighting out here in the street, in the middle of the road or whatever. And then the next thing you know, they just stop and just go get in their car and go ahead on about their business.
Wow.
So that was another thing that
That's amazing. That's amazing. We got somebody in the
different.
chat that's
Oh, hey, Rachel.
she's saying, "Hi, mommy."
Oh,
And
and I
hello, Lady Navoa. Good to see you. Good to
yeah.
see you. Wow. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say I think my other sister is on the call too.
She is. Who's that? Let's see if we can find her.
Yeah, go up.
Dina
Well, we saw
P.
Dina
Redmond.
Redmond,
Shalom.
the Val.
There
Hey,
she is. Shalom. Okay. Hi. Good to see you. Thanks for being here. Your family, like I'm part of the family now.
Val. I know.
the whole
Yeah,
the
yeah.
whole family knows me.
Yep, they do.
That's awesome. That's
They do.
good, Karen. So come on, let's go ahead. This is so good. This is so good. I'm following your lead. This is our last chat before the new year.
Yeah, yes. I'm thinking, just kind of keeping it kind of light, just to
Yep, yep.
Ghana culture.
Uh-huh.
And another thing about the Ghanaians is that they are very, and for lack of spiritual people,
Mm-hmm.
right? They're very spiritual people, and so it's nothing to hear, to be in a store or someplace and you're going to hear, Christian music everywhere,
Mm-hmm.
in their language, so you don't know what it is until somebody might tell you.
Not unless you
But
feel it by the spirit.
right, exactly, exactly. But the words to their music are so deep and spiritual. So if I hear a song and I might ask Emmanuel or somebody like, well, what is that song? What are they saying? And when they start explaining it, it's like
Mm,
it's just really deep. Like if they're singing about how when they are deep in sorrow, how God always comes through, or when their life seems like it's at an end, then
mm.
they see him come, so it's
Yeah,
like that. And even when they do they're playing their djembe and singing songs,
it's
um,
beautiful.
yes, the 99% of the time it's a worship song,
Mm-hmm.
and so that I really like, even though I'm not
Mm-hmm.
don't know what they're saying, but I catch the hallelujahs, right?
Right.
They're worshiping, and when they do it with such passion too.
Mm-hmm.
That they do it with such passion. I remember we did I think it was after, and they do this after they finish doing a building or some kind of work,
Mm,
especially when they get to the roof. And
mm,
if they get through with the roof, then they always have a time of
mm.
gratitude that they give to the Most High for allowing them nobody got hurt.
Awesome.
Yeah, just stuff like that.
Awesome.
So they're going to start singing. So you might hear all of a sudden spontaneously they're out there singing
Mm. I
and
love it.
worship. Yeah, and they'll fall on their knees and just be
Mm,
worshiping and thanking him that nobody got hurt while they built the roof.
mm, mm.
Stuff like that.
That's
I
awesome.
love I love
Yes.
that.
Oh, that's awesome. I remember when I was in Ghana and almost I can't even remember not a store being named with a scripture or
Yes.
the
Yes.
blessed
Or
house or the blessed
right.
grocery or the
Yep.
hallelujahs this and the whole
Yep.
it amazed me that the whole strip in where I was at where they were buying material they wanted to make some garments for me and I said just
Mhm.
take me I want to be among the people and while we were
Right.
even in the car everywhere we passed every store had a Christian name on it, or some of them were Muslims.
Yeah.
It was all
Right.
just a matter of respecting each other's belief
Hmm.
system. And it was
Yeah.
just beautiful. And I remember also when I told you I went to sing in Ghana and it was
Mhm.
pouring down raining. And it was in this huge, huge, huge church. Don't remember the name, one of the biggest in Accra. And it was outdoors and
Okay.
it was a sea of people, a sea. I mean, when I got on the stage, there was no ending to the people, and it was
Wow.
raining, and
And they
some of
were
them
out there.
had no shoes on. Some of them
Mm,
had walked miles and miles to come
wow.
just to worship. Oh my God, you told me tore me up.
Mhm.
Just
Yes. Yes.
their their love and desire and hunger for God, right? And the
Hmm.
trueness of who he is, the trueness
Yeah.
of who he is as a pure worshiper. And I'm a total worshiper, right? Worship is what saved my life and saved my
Hmm.
sanity. So when I
Yeah.
sing, I'll choose worship instead of praise. Now I'll do a praise, but I'll be waiting to get behind the veil. I want to get into worship.
Right.
And
Right.
that's me. I was praise and worship is wonderful, but God has wired me to be a worshiper, to bring his presence into the atmosphere. And when I saw all those people, I couldn't stop crying. I had to sing, but I was like, pull it together, Sheila, pull it together. All these people, and in Africa, they're all sitting up front with the couches outside, and the
Yes.
garb
Yes.
and the big shots, and it was one of those big type bishops and apostles, and I'm up there like not seeing any of them, just seeing the people, the hunger for
Yeah.
the people have for God. And it was raining so bad, and I knew they were just walking and walking. And I'm like, look at your people, Lord. Look at your people. So I've been called
Mm-hmm.
to the nations for many, many years with with my ministry. And that's why I say I'm getting a bug. I'm getting a bug. I got to go.
Right. Right.
In the
That's what's
US, I
happening.
love the US. I love, whatever, but it's a whole different thing when you
Yes.
worship with people who have had nothing and then saw
Yes.
God. They saw God do something. Their belief is
Hmm.
off the chain. And so
It
I tell you, so
is.
I know
It is.
exactly what you're saying. Like those songs, I listen to a lot of worship singers on YouTube from
Hmm.
Ghana and from different parts of Africa. It's just the depth
Yeah.
of their music.
Yes. It really gets into your soul, and especially when you watch how they worship, just like you say, it's so genuine.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, it's because it's heartfelt, because it's real,
Yes.
right? They're going through
Yes.
something. A
Yes.
lot of them are going through something, just the day to day. And I say often that being in Ghana reminds me of when I was a little girl, and where we grew up, and where it was more like community, but it
Mm-hmm.
was also, poverty. Even though, when you're little, you're not even thinking about, oh, I'm so poor. You
Mm-hmm.
just living your life.
Mm-hmm.
But to see people going through challenges, and people having to, moms having to work, and all the things that we experienced when we were
Mm-hmm.
young, that, like, if this one helping to pay this one's rent, or having rent parties and different things,
Yes.
yeah, to
Yes.
try selling dinners, right?
Yes.
Where the community was coming together, would come together
Mhm.
to help each other out. And that's how I feel being in Ghana. It reminds me of that when I was small, and that sense of security that we felt, because we knew that we could go to any of our neighbors' house,
Yes,
for help or something like that. So,
definitely. Yeah,
yeah.
that's awesome. That's that community. I had asked
Yeah.
my cousin Donna that question the last time, not the last time, but I've asked her before, well, do you have a community yet? Do you have people? And she was like, cuz that's like the first thing. People come
Hmm.
to you because they
Yeah.
know you're not from here. So they come
Right.
to you. They know your family is not there. And so they want to
Hmm.
make sure you're okay. And I think
Yeah.
that is just
Yeah.
so awesome. And she's saying it's genuine. It's nobody,
No, it's
we
it's
have
genuine. Yes.
it's genuine. So that's
Yes.
awesome. So you have, and what I wanted to mention when you were sharing how you had your, I don't want to call it a meltdown, but your missing moment of your family. I think it's
Yeah.
healthy that through that, this the counselor part of me coming out. But as you was talking, I was assessing what you were saying, and I was like, good. In my head, I was like, good, she did that. Good, she felt that. Good, she let that happen inside.
Hmm.
She didn't push it down. She didn't push it off. She went
Right.
with the feeling. And I like the fact
Yeah.
that you went, it was healthy for you to do that, because then you could put a finger on what that emotion was, what that feeling. Is it more than one thing? Is it I'm a little tired, plus I miss my family. Oh, I want to hug my grandchildren. So inside of what you
Mhm.
said was three or four different emotions that was
Right.
inside of you that caused you to feel that. But I think that it's awesome that you went with it. A lot of times people mask so many
Right.
things or think they're
Right.
not supposed to feel a way or not supposed to say something, right? And all
Mm.
that does is deny you, right? And
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
the scripture that says that a house divided can't stand. Well, if we divide our own self, then we're
Yeah.
torn and not being real. So that balance, I
Mhm.
commend you for going with it, going with the feeling, going with that emotion because it was real. Everything was hitting you, the generator, the this, the that, the that, the that. Everything was hitting you. And you was like,
Mhm.
okay, let me step back. And you had a moment. And you'll have
Yeah, it's
those
like,
moments.
okay, I wanna go home to my family.
And your sister put a comment in the chat. She said something, I can't find it, but when you said that, she said, "We miss you too." That's what she said.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
and then your daughter is saying, "Oh, mommy." Yeah, mommy had a moment. Y'all pray for
Yes,
mommy.
I did.
Mommy had a moment, right? And
Yeah,
this won't be
but
the
I mean,
last one, but
yeah,
you mhm.
that's right. That's right. So,
Good.
it's just it's different,
Yeah.
being here. It's wonderful. I mean, I've done so many things. Like I said, I went to that YouTube creators thing and
Mhm.
met some nice people, and I learned
And
some
you
good
came
some
in
good.
third. Woohoo!
Third, can you believe that? That was something. Um,
Yes.
and then I went to this gentleman. His name is Kofi Tab, and he has a little cafe, a restaurant next to his house. And so we went there, and I met some other people. So I mean, I've been doing some things, and I've been hanging.
Talk a little bit. Talk. I'll be right back.
Okay, yeah. So I've been hanging with Queen Moy. She's a diasporan that a has been installed as a queen of Ghana for the diasporans. So what she does is, in her role, eventually she'll be able to help people who have issues with their land, and or challenges, or some, with their landlord, or different things like that, and they can come to her, and she will work to reconcile the situation for you as a diasporan. And that's something that we could use in Ghana. And so that's really great for her. But and beyond that, she has to participate in all these events and situations. And so because we're friends, I get to tag along with her on some of these things. And just recently, we went to Agendum, which is a village in Asebu that's right next to the Pan African village. And this young chief had a huge event. He had an unveiling of a beautiful statue. It must have been at least like 10 feet tall. Someone said it was a statue of his uncle who was very crucial in his life. And so they did that unveiling, and then but the queen mother, Queen Moy is what I call her, because I can't pronounce her name yet. Her Ghana name is Queen Wiofa or something like that. But I got to go with her, and to see so much. It just reminds me again of the scriptures, and back in the
Mhm.
day when they had kings and queens and all that. But
Mm.
she's sitting up in the front on this throne that she has at her house, and so they had her bring it
Mhm.
there, and then the king had his throne, and so they're
Wow.
sitting there in all their garb, and then you got this whole entourage. When the king came, it was the dancers came out first, and
Ooh,
and was doing their dancing, and
beautiful.
then the drummers came out and were
Ooh.
drumming and drumming, and so just this huge entourage of people coming, and then all of his people that are with him, and
Mhm.
they came down, and they just walked down the pavilion where we were, and they
Wow.
walked all around, and just to see all that, and then they went and sat down. It was just really,
That's
really lovely.
awesome. That's
It was
beautiful. I
really
love
nice.
it. I really, really love it. I
Yeah.
gotta give you the congratulations. Your children are congratulating you on your winning at the content creator in Ghana.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Yes.
and they're saying, "Congrats, mommy." Oh, wow.
Oh, I guess they didn't
Yeah,
even know, huh?
yeah. Well,
Uh,
listen, I think that's a great accomplishment because you're new. You only been
Yeah,
there a year. You fast tracking across the board. I'm telling you.
yeah. It hasn't
Oh,
even been a year. Won't be a year really until May.
wow,
I
Karen.
only started my channel, Karen in Ghana, in May of 2023. So June,
Look at
July, August.
God. No, for real. He's fast tracking you in more
Yes, he
than one way.
is. Yes, he is.
In
Yes,
more
he
than
is.
one way.
Amazing.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
So,
like a confirmation knowing you did the right
mhm.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. And I tell you, the majority of the clients that we get are from YouTube, from watching the videos.
Mm,
They'll email me and they'll say, I saw you on the video. You seemed authentic. You seemed, like you were decent. Those kinds of things. And so,
mhm.
um, I tell people all the time, like if when somebody said they're going to have a YouTube channel or something like that, to just be who you are. Don't try to
Correct.
um, come with some kind of planned, scripted way that you're going
Correct.
to be, because people can see right through that.
That's true.
So just be who you are. When Queen Moy was at this event on last week,
Mhm.
and the guy came over and gave her the mic for her to speak, and
Mhm.
she didn't know that she was going to speak. And
Mm,
so when he gave it to her, she said that. She said, "Oh, wow, I really didn't know that I was going to speak today."
mhm.
But, and then she just went right into her thing. So sometimes, then she felt bad because she was like, "Oh, I probably shouldn't have said that. I should have been more prepared." So she's beating herself up. And I said, "Sis, you were just being who you are. You're being yourself. People will
Right.
appreciate you
Correct.
know instead of you trying to like, oh well, yes,
Yeah.
come up
Exactly.
and, trying to figure it out and trying to act like you got put up a front. People see through
Mhm.
that, so just be who
Mhm.
you
It's
are.
true. Just be yourself. Be who
Yeah, I
you
think you
are.
just said, oh, you were honest. You just said, oh, I didn't know I was going to speak. And
Right.
so there's
Being
nothing wrong with
natural.
that. Right, right.
Hi, Von
So
Eric. Where's your faith? Thank you, brother, for being here. Yeah, that's
yeah,
awesome.
hello. Yeah,
That's
so
awesome.
that's kind of some of the things about Ghana. And it's
Mhm.
it's a lovely place here. I love it. I would not trade it for the world.
You would not
Um,
trade it.
no, I wouldn't. Even though I had my first negative encounter with a police officer.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, a couple of days ago, and that was eye opening for me. But he was just very rude to me
Mhm.
personally, to me, yelling at
Mhm.
me, and I just
Mm.
had not had that experience. And so that's like being here a whole year and just one thing like that. So I don't
Yeah.
certainly don't want to try to blow it up to make it be really,
Right.
but it still was impactful to me. I was
You
like,
must have felt that. You were felt
I did.
violated.
I said to him, I said, "Don't you realize I'm old enough to be your mom? How dare you talk to me that way?" And he didn't care. He just walked on away, and you know. So that I've never had that happen before. Every police officer has always been respectful to me, even if they still were going to hold us in the car or try to get
Right.
money or whatever they're going to do. They've always
Right.
been respectful. So that was an experience that
And
I was.
listen, I know for us New Yorkers and US people, we have a mouth. We used to
Hmm.
defending ourselves. We don't back cower
Yeah,
down.
yeah.
We don't know how to
Mm-mm.
do that. It's like that's not
Right,
our upbringing or culture, or whatever. And our first
right,
thing is like
right,
to explain ourselves to someone
right,
who is coming
right.
at us rude. But again, when you're in different places, you have to mind yourself and mind where you
Yeah,
are. It's a
yeah.
lesson learned, but I mean, that was very rude. That was rude, but I'm
Yeah,
glad you still stuck
yeah. I
up
mean,
for
a little bit
yourself.
of DC did come out, but I had to kind of rein it back in,
Listen, I
because I
know
was
it
like, "Who
had
you
to
think
at
you're
some
talking to?" And then I was like, "Okay, it's the police officer Calm down.
Wait, your daughter said, "Good, good for you for sticking up for yourself." There you go. But see, she couldn't go hard because her crew wasn't there, so she had to chill a little bit.
Right, that's right. If my crew was here, we would have been on it.
It would have been different.
Yeah, yeah,
That
but
is
he
funny.
was. So, but anyway, that's, like I said, out of all of the wonderful encounters I had, that was
Mhm.
one negative. And it was
That's
only
good.
recent. That's why I just kind of brought it up. But
Because it's
it
still
did.
sting. It's a sting. It's a little
Yeah,
sting
yes,
still there. I
that's
get
right.
it.
It's like I can't wait to go back through that
I
checkpoint
know.
so I can
I know. I
feel.
know. I can imagine.
You
I
know how
know.
we do. We have
Uh-huh,
to
exactly.
tone it down, tone it
Tone
down.
it
It's
down.
one
I
little
know.
blip, one little blip.
You always gonna
So,
find that one to try you though, you know? You
oh
always
yeah,
gonna
oh
find
yeah,
that one
absolutely,
who's
absolutely.
puffed up and probably just never
Hmm.
had no power before, so they, have to
Yeah,
go through that whole
yeah,
thing
and
in
in
that way.
the police officers in Ghana at the checkpoints carry AR-15s. They
Yeah.
carry rifles. They don't have a little gun on
Wow.
their hip. They carry a big old rifle, so you don't want to be messing around. Even though
Exactly.
I tell you, while I was waiting, because they just had us sitting for 2 hours because one of our headlights was out, and that's what they were getting on us about. Like we did it
Okay.
on purpose, right?
Purpose.
Yeah, but I tell you, I saw so many, and I was going back to what I said earlier. Those men jump out that car and get up in that police officer's face, and they be going at it, back and forth, yelling, screaming, fussing. He got the AR-15, and I'm thinking if this was in the States, this guy would be dead,
Yeah, for
right?
sure. Look what
Yes.
Kim said.
Yes, that's right, Kim.
For sure. They better be careful, man.
We
You got a
know
whole
what it is,
posse of
Martha.
girl family.
Yeah,
They better watch themselves.
they don't know. If something really happened, I mean, my
They
family
have
will
no
be
idea.
climbing over each other trying to get over here. They'll be creating a human bridge across the Atlantic Ocean
For
so
sure.
they
For
can get
sure,
here.
Karen.
I know that.
Absolutely.
I know that.
Your other daughter said, "I know that's right."
Yeah, you see my family coming out. They can't even help it.
Listen,
Coming out on
that's
the chat.
right. They're gonna be on the phone when we get off the live. Like, wait, mommy, what?
Yeah, right.
What happened? You got his number? He got a badge number?
Right. I took his picture.
Oh, Jesse. Jesse, she got a picture.
I do. I got a picture. Because that's one of the things they say too when you come to Ghana, you don't take pictures of the police officers and people and politicians or whatever unless you get their permission or something. But I ain't asked for nothing. I don't. I said I'm taking a
There you
picture.
go. Like that DC didn't know. Listen, the DC is never going to be totally dripped out of you, and the Harlem girl will never be totally dripped out of me,
It,
right?
it,
They
it
got-
won't.
The
No,
Lord
it's
don't
just
want us
true.
to just act like that didn't happen. We learned a lot from those places.
Yes, we did. Yes, we did. So
So what's going on? You want to show your slide now?
I'll show a little bit of it. Yeah, I'm not going to do the whole thing, but when
It's a lot.
Emmanuel was on, it's a
It's
lot, but I mean, you could just flip through because I'm not
You
going to.
tell me what to do. I'm gonna follow your
Okay.
lead. I'm gonna share
All
the
right.
screen, and
Okay.
there we have it.
All right.
So
So when
I'm gonna let you
and this
explain it.
so for these guys who are on the call tonight, they're getting the preview of what I'm going to be talking to my entire group about. All my clients about. Some changes that are coming with phase 3, and so you guys are blessed to be able to hear it. I thought I would do that because Sheila, you've been so great and generous that I would,
Oh,
come on and share a little bit of what we're doing.
oh,
So,
awesome.
um, so we're going to be remember when Emmanuel was on and he talked about the 4 different villages within Africa Bar,
Mm-hmm,
the third phase.
mm-hmm.
Okay, so he wanted to call it Africa Bar Diasporan Community or something like that. So I think the diasporan word is well overplayed. So we're
Okay,
going to call it Africa Bar Elite. Our third
nice.
section. And
I like that.
this is the place for everybody. Like, if people don't know, our first two phases were Hebrew Israelites, so the Hebrew heritage community, and this phase is for everybody. And so what
Okay.
we've done, in addition to that, in the first two phases, we didn't have these parameters. And so, but for the third phase, we're realizing now that we need to have a little bit more of parameters around what we want, what we see when we say community. Because in the first two phases, people can build any kind of house they want, any kind of way they want. It can be in the back, in the front, whatever. So in this phase, we're trying to create what looks like a community,
Okay.
versus everybody just building a house in the
Right.
same area, right? Even though that's
Right.
going to be great too. So we have four different styles, and so we're going to have the hip roof, which I thought they were saying heap roof, but was saying it wrong. But it really is hip, HIP roof,
Uh,
which is the house, the roofs that like we have here,
okay.
and single story, like one floor, 1 to 4 bedrooms. You can go to the next one.
Oh, hold on.
All right.
Okay.
And then the Emancipation Village. Oh, I'm sorry. That first one is the Great Return. So we've
Mhm.
just called them different sections. So
Nice.
you know that if you're going to be in the Emancipation Village, you're going to have a flat roof, single story, and home ranging from 1 to 4 bedrooms. So if you want a little small 1 bedroom house, it's going to be flat roof. It's going to be in that village. Okay. And then the next one is the Kwame Nkrumah Village, which is our biggest um, houses, which will be hip roof, 2 stories, ranging from 3 to 5 bedrooms. And then the final one is the Sankofa, which will be 2 stories, but flat roof. So we're going to have two
Mm.
flat roof sections. One will be 1 story, one will be 2 story, and then two hip roof sections. One will be 1 story and 2 story. So that's
Nice.
what we're going to do. And so what we're doing now is we're showing, like, here's a sample. This is the first house that we built, right? So this is
Mhm.
just a sample of the Great Return Village, which is hip roof. You see the roof,
Yes.
single story, and it could be anywhere from 1 to 4 bedrooms,
Mm.
right? So, and then this is a sample of the Emancipation Village style home. This is just one example. And
Mhm.
this would be flat roof, as you can see, that's,
Yes.
flat roof,
Nice.
single story, 1 to 4 bedrooms.
Nice.
And then the Kwame Nkrumah village style home, which is the hip roof, 2 story, 3 to 5 bedrooms. So that's
Beautiful.
going to be our biggest. Those are going to be our biggest homes. And then
Beautiful.
finally, the sample of the Sankofa, which is 2 story home, flat roof. Maybe 3 to 5 bedrooms. So you can see the downstairs, and then they got steps going up the side. But this is really an actual 2 story with a patio off of the master bedroom.
It's
So these
beautiful.
are, and we'll have some others too, other designs for people to choose from. But they're all going to be, like I say, all flat roofs in one area, all 2 stories in one area.
It's
So that's
beautiful. Ah,
yeah.
bravo to you and Emmanuel. It's
So
beautiful.
yeah, we'll be announcing that for January, because we're going to be, like I said, we already have so many people. We have, I think, at least 8, maybe 10 people who have already invested in the hip roof. I mean, I'm sorry, in the phase 3 community already. Um,
Wow.
but again, the majority of those are Hebrew Israelites. So even
Right.
though our phase 1 and phase 2 is completed, we are going to push back the Africa Bar Elite for another 30 plots for
Okay.
our Hebrew heritage people, so they could still kind of be together. And then, and out of those 30, we only have 14 left.
Okay.
So if people
Going
want to be in
fast.
the Hebrew heritage community, they want to get on that now. But
Yeah.
we still have the 30 something other plots,
Other
and we're
plots.
going to,
Right.
yeah. So it's still going to be all. I mean, our vision is that it's going to be all one big, huge, community when it's all
Yeah,
said and done.
community. Yes. I see
Yeah,
the
but
vision.
people really want to um, be, if they want to be in that Hebrews Heritage community, they need to do it now, because
Right.
we're not going to keep extending it, extending it,
Sending
extending
it.
it. And
Got it.
so then, but I mean, but it's not gonna, it's not like it's going to be terrible. The only difference may be um, with what they, what they may celebrate, feast days versus,
Right. Yeah,
you know, Christmas or something like that. Um,
absolutely.
but that the whole Hebrew Heritage community, we're going to have a community center and all that up in the first
So when you
phase.
come back,
So,
yeah, when you come back, you can have, because I'm sure you'll have models of all the other things. Because I know you guys wanted to do a center, you wanted to do youth things, and all types of
yes,
which
yes,
will be in the community. So 2024 is going to be major for you. I
yes.
am so proud of you. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you, sis. I'm telling you, so
Thank
very
you.
proud of you. For being just obedient to what God says He needs you to do for His people and for
Yeah.
yourself, and for your family. And not saying kicking and screaming how we opened up the show. Oh, I'm too old. I might be too old. You know how
Right.
we opened the
Right.
show talking about how that little man to be on your shoulder talking about, girl, you 70. What you trying to do now? That
Right.
kind of thing.
Right.
Because when it gets in our head, it starts messing with us. But
Yes.
this is obvious that there is no number. There is no number. Let's see what
Mm,
Rosa has to say. Pastor Rosa, about this is great. The idea of community is awesome. I'm excited
mm.
for what you are doing, Karen. Yes, right?
Thank
Sister
you.
is
Thank
doing it.
you. Thank
Sis
you.
is doing it. I tell you,
It
this
is
is
really
the
something.
yes. And it's
It's,
something for you to watch, stand back and be like, wait, let me scratch my head. How did this
I
happen?
know. It's like, am I doing that? So,
Exactly, exactly. Kim is
so my
saying,
sisters, they are ready to come. My sister and
said,
my daughters. Yeah. I
yeah,
can't wait for them to get here. And
yeah.
actually, another thing I'll share with you guys that I haven't shared with the broader audience. I'm
This
going to
is
be
first
building.
time on Bravo. You
That's
guys
it.
are being privy to first time at the Bravo with Sheila network. Let me just add that you are
Yes,
privy to
yes,
the beginning of all these things.
yes. I'm going to be building. I'm going to start building my home
Mhm.
in the Hebrew Heritage community in a
Okay.
couple of weeks.
Oh, get ready to break
Yes,
ground, break ground. You get ready to
yes,
break ground, girl.
yes, yes. So it's going to be one of those little small flat roof,
But I
homes.
like those. I like
I
them.
like it too. I like it too. So I'm going to do that, and then eventually this house will be a full Airbnb.
Airbnb. Yep.
Yeah.
Businesswoman. Go ahead. Just do your thing. All those
Yes.
years you gave to the company back in the US, the Lord is like saying,
Hmm.
okay, this is it right here. And
That's
Jesse is
it.
saying, yay.
Uh, I
She said,
cannot wait
me
to start doing
three.
it. Yeah.
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
so happy for you. I know that you'll be back in 2024. I guess this
Yeah.
time is a better time for you, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, correct?
Yes, it does work better for me, but I can do the later time because a lot of people are working in the States at this time. So I just
Okay.
take a nap first and then get up.
It's up to
Emmanuel and
you.
I will make sure we won't be asleep like we were the last time.
Emmanuel was so funny. He was like, "Asa, look at him. Like, wake him up, kick his leg or something."
Yep, all
But
you
no,
had to
it's
do was
always,
start talking about it. Yes. And
and
then
he woke up. He woke up. He
and we
did.
couldn't stop him.
Exactly. But I want it always to be comfortable for you with your time because I know you're super, super
Yeah,
busy. So whatever time when we come back in January, whatever time is best for you for that
yeah.
particular day, whether it's our regular 6 p.m. or excuse me, or this 3 p.m., you let me know and we will
Okay.
do it because we have a nice amount of people up in the orchestra, right, watching that's
Yeah.
not in the chat. And I hope they all you think I need to remind them what they need to do? Let's remind them.
Hit that bell, that notification bell.
And subscribe to the channel. We are
And
pressing our
share,
way to
share,
a
share.
yeah, share, share, share. And we're pressing our way to 1,000 subscribers. I think,
I'm
and
proud
they
of
will
you.
tell me, "Oh, I'm trying, I'm trying, I'm trying. I'm staying consistent." Although I got sick and was down for almost 2 weeks, but I'm back up, and they will let me know. I think we're at 700 and something. It might be 701 or it might be 700.
Okay.
I don't know, but we're getting there. We're getting there and
Yes,
pressing to
good.
1,000, which will shift us to a different type of, which thing
Yes,
in the YouTube streets once you get over that thousand. But
1,000. Yeah.
nevertheless, my goal is to give good content and to share with people how to enrich their lives, how to enrich their own being, moving them from pain to power and to from pain to power and from power to victory. Yes.
Yes,
And
yes.
so what else would you like to say? I want to let you go because I know you have other things to do. What time is it there? And Nay
It's
says
like nine. It's 9:20.
we're at 701. Woo
Yeah,
woo.
congratulations to you. And
Yesterday we
you
were
know,
700.
just keep consistent. And if anybody, that is on here and you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that now so she can get over 701 before we even get off the call. Wouldn't that be great?
That would be awesome. Before we get off
Yeah.
this call, and I'm trying to find, and they put up here we go, your YouTube channel, and there it is. Is that the
Oh,
channel? Yep, that's
yep.
it.
Karen in
Uh,
Ghana.
Yep, yep, yep.
Oh,
So those of you who have not subscribed to my sister's channel, go ahead and subscribe. She has some great content over there. You can see her breaking ground and doing so many different things. Our last time we were on, we showed them how you were making the roads and paving
yes,
the roads
yes.
out and the
Mhm.
houses and everything. So every time
Temporary
she
shed that
comes,
we put up for the office. The office is just
the
about done. We just
office,
have to,
is it almost done? Oh,
yeah,
wow.
it's done. We just have to get the desk and stuff put in, and then
Awesome.
maybe by next month, and I'll show that too.
Yes, because I
Um,
could show the before and after because I have the before picture here.
yep, yep, yeah. So
Absolutely
we're
awesome.
moving along. We're moving along, and we have just lots of things that are happening. With the a friend of mine who built um, libraries for the school, and so she came and
Okay.
talked to the king, who we had purchased land from. So she wants to build a library in his village, and so
Oh,
that was a really
nice.
nice and interesting time of communication. Just having that discussion and everything. And
Mhm.
one last thing I'll share about Ghana
Sure, sure.
is that they have a they're very big on protocol,
Okay.
and and doing things decently and in order. You
Mhm.
don't just go walk up to the queen mother and knock on the door and say, "Hey, I want to see you today." You have to plan that, and you can't go, or you should not go without a person who's local, but also who has been accepted by the queen or the king as a representative for the diasporans.
Oh,
Yes, it's a lot to it. It's not that simple. I'm sorry. And
that's
then
okay.
you also have like when you come to Ghana, when you first come to Ghana, one of the first things you should do is go see the king or the chief of the area that you're going to be, if you're going to stay, if you're going to be living
Mm,
here or whatever you want to go. That is protocol. You
mhm.
go and let them know that you're coming to their village, that you're going to be in
Right,
their space, and so you
right.
don't just, like in the States, we just move somewhere, we just move there. No, it's not like that here. You let them, they need to know who you are, and then they also tell you what your responsibilities are. So
Oh,
we had a meeting with some of our new clients, with the chiefs and the assemblyman and the queen mother, and then they stood up and they kind of told us what they expect of us. There's to be no lying, there's to be no stealing, sort of like the Ten Commandments almost, right? And
right. It
that
sounds like that.
and that if you have an issue, you don't just go to court, you come to them. and resolve the issues within the community. You know,
Oh,
yes, it's very biblical. It's really nice. But so I just kind of wanted to share that too. Just
that's
kind of,
nice. I'm glad you did.
yeah,
I didn't
that
know
is
that part. I knew that you visit the chiefs but I didn't know it was that deep in terms
right,
of the
right.
protocol
Yeah,
and
you can't just
respecting
go,
it.
yeah, just yourself and just think you're going to go talk to the queen mother or the king or something. You know, actually, they don't even speak to you when you get there. They
Uh-huh.
have their liaison, right? And that
Okay.
you speak to the liaison, and then tells the king what you're saying, even though he's
Okay.
sitting right here, he hears
Oh,
everything.
yeah. Yeah.
It's that, again, it's like the
That
right hand man,
respect.
yeah, sitting there. You talk to the right hand man, and he tells the king.
Correct.
And but then after that initial part, then the king will start to speak, especially if he speaks English. He'll start to speak directly to you. You know,
Okay.
but you have to, the protocol is you don't just think you can walk up in there, hey king, how you doing, unless he approaches you first.
No way. Can you imagine? You know, can you imagine US people, right? Because wait, can you imagine?
Yes, I've seen it happen.
Oh God, that is something there. You could
Then
imagine
then don't understand if the king, he's not going to acknowledge you. He's just going to keep looking straight ahead,
like you
and then
crazy.
the liaison is going to be like, yes may I help you, kind of thing, right?
Instead of
And
the
then,
buffer,
yeah, yeah.
like
And
excuse me.
I know I'm going long, but it's
No,
one
no,
last
you're
thing.
not. Go, 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 go.
I had the king, the paramount chief. It was a big story about it. I'll tell you later, another time. But they came to my house a couple of weekends ago.
Hmm.
The paramount chief, another chief, Obakesi, a small, he's under him, and a whole bunch of the assembly man, the liaison, all
Right.
these people, about a dozen of them, ended
Oh,
up, and they walked from one lady's house to my house. So it was sort of like a coming to America kind of thing,
yeah,
right?
I
So
could
the doors were
imagine.
open, and they had that huge big umbrella over him,
Yeah,
and that when they were walking through, and then they came through, they all had on all their their garb, their
garb.
wraps and
Uh-huh.
everything, and it was something. So it was really really nice. So when they came inside, and they loved the house, of course, and they were all sitting around, so I got great pictures of them sitting on the sofa.
Uh-huh.
And so I told Possible, I said, get them some water, right? And so he got a big tray, and he, this is the way they do it. They lay the water
Right.
out on it, and they present it. So he went over, and because the king is the king, right? The paramount chief, he went to him first and bent down to offer him the water. And the liaison jumped up, and he had one of those really tall staff,
Uh-huh.
that's, and he
Uh-huh.
jumped up and he kind of banged the staff a little bit and said something to him in Fonte. And so then Possible kind of bowed and was like, okay, and took the water and left. And I don't know what happened. I was like, so later I said, what happened? And he said that he told me that I should know that you do not offer anything to the king
Right.
without the
Somebody
liaison
else
tasting it or
tasting
drinking
it.
it.
Right.
And I was like, oh man, that is just something.
The cupbearer.
Yes, yes, yes. It's just all so scriptural. Just
That's
really,
powerful.
really, really, yes, to
Bringing
see it
him what?
to
Wow.
really see it playing out in real time, not reading it in a book or something like that, but
Seeing
it's
it on the
actually
movie, yeah, it was like in your
right,
home, in your living
right,
room.
right, right. So
Wow.
anyway,
That is awesome,
that's it.
Karen.
Wanted to share that.
That is awesome, awesome. Well, guys, you've heard it one more time. Karen and Ghana right here. And listen, she's a regular, she's not a stranger. You guys that are here the first time may be a stranger to her, but I believe some of you up in the bleachers in the orchestra seats, maybe you've been on before when she was on, or you know her from her own channel. Either way, we thank you for being here to support this time with us. Those of you in the chat, or your children, and Nay, the one and only moderator in these YouTube streets. Thank you
Yes.
so much, all of you who are here. We'll see you in 2024 when she brings
Wow.
the next update of what's getting ready to happen. She's had an incredible year. The Lord has her on a fast track. I mean,
Yes.
in more than one way. In more than one way. And she is blessing people, getting people to build their dream homes and buy land. I'm telling you, she's the password. Karen is the password. I have named, she is the password. And
And
so we're going to say good evening. I think it's like 9, 10 o'clock. Don't move, Karen. I want to ask you a couple of things. Uh,
okay.
it's around 9, 10 o'clock there in Ghana, correct?
It's 9:30. Yes, it's
It's
9:30.
9:30. See, most times we're off at 11:30 at night,
Yes,
12
so this is
o'clock,
a little
11.
better for
This
me.
is a little better for you. And I'm glad that we adjusted the time so that you didn't have to uh, falling asleep, falling asleep. Anyway, we'll see you guys later. We love ya. Ciao.
Bye. Oh, only with the right hand. Bye.
Wait, wait, wait. Exactly, Karen. With the right hand, Karen.
With the right hand.
That was good. If you didn't finish that, look at the show and you'll figure it out what the right
That's
hand
right.
is
That's
about.
right.